answer some very short polling questions, which will be displayed on your screen shortly. So please take some time to answer any of the polling questions. Please send in your votes. We'd love to hear your voice. We'd love to hear how you joined the webinar, if you're already a YouthLead member, how you heard about YouthLead, and then how often you used the YouthLead platform. All right, so we just have 10 out of 21. So we still want you to, for those who haven't voted yet, please send in your votes. Still waiting for you to send in your votes. Yes, please keep them coming, keep them coming. All right, so we have just 30 seconds left for voting. So please send in your votes. 30 more seconds. All right, so as we wait for the polling polling to time out, just a few ground rules for this webinar, for this meetup session. Feel free to turn on your cameras if you want to. Also, there's going to be more of a conversation, not particularly us dictating. So I'm going to hand the poll now. So for those who are yet to vote, you just have 5 more seconds to do so. So please send in your votes. All right, thank you all for sending in those votes. All right, thank you. So like I was saying earlier, feel free to turn on your camera. Would love to have more people on video so we can know who we're talking to and who we're interacting with. Also, please when you're not speaking, please put on mute yourself. We do not want echoes sending back and forth on the call. So when you're not speaking, please learn to use the mute function on your computer or on the application itself. So thank you again all for joining. We'll be starting proper, and I do have on the call Philbert, who would be kicking us off with a quick introduction. Philbert, it's good to have you, and thank you for joining us all the way from Kenya. Yeah, Philbert, you're on mute.
Oh yeah, I actually wasn't talking. I was just motioning that. Yeah, I acknowledge the introduction. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you so much to the YouthLead members from Kenya and from all walks who have joined us. We are really glad that you're here. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Philbert, I wanted you to just kick us off already, so we can start the session. So why are we gathering here today? Why did you find it necessary to pull this all together? And yeah, let's just get started already.
Thank you so much, Abolaji. I would want to, I believe you already acknowledged the presence of Maria from YouthLead and many other persons from YouthLead. I know you will give them a formal introduction when the time comes, but just a background, this is specifically to the members who are joining the platform, probably who saw the banner on the social media platforms and those that we have on the WhatsApp group. The brief background is we met on the YouthLead platform. Maybe just to introduce myself, my name is Philbert Aganyo, the YouthLead ambassador. I'm not so sure whether we can say we are the outgone ambassadors or currently still the ambassadors in place, but I know we are still part of the YouthLead network. So on the YouthLead platform, I remember initiating a discussion around how can we as YouthLead members from Kenya network and even collaborate closer on some of the projects that we are doing together, because I saw a number of young people also in the comments that they gave on the YouthLead platform. There was a lot of information that was coming around, and I thought that probably maybe if we can bring our heads together as YouthLead members from Kenya, then it could be a good starting point for us. Maybe somebody might need support, technical support in maybe carrying out an activity that they're doing, or maybe somebody might need numbers, mobilization for youth to participate in an activity that they're doing together. And so when I wrote that comment, that discussion onto the YouthLead platform, under the discussions, I saw a number of responses from other fellow Kenyans who are on the YouthLead platform coming in. And the suggestion that we had put there was that, can we start a WhatsApp group for the members from Kenya specifically to enable us pull our heads together to make it easier for us to know, to keep in touch with what are we doing at the local level. And that same day we created a WhatsApp group and we kept adding in members, and we did a very nice introduction. I can see a good number of the members who are on the same WhatsApp group, part of this. And also as part of the discussions that we had in the platform, I discovered that are active on the YouthLead platform page. And when I did a one-on-one discussion, I inboxed a number of the young people, about 20 of them. Each of them responded that they did not have a clear grasp of what the platform is all about and how they can make the most of it. And so as we advance discussions, in, more and more, the thought or the idea of having a webinar or a platform where we can all have a discussion on how to make the most of the platform became more and more apparent. And that is what birthed this discussion and this webinar that we have here. So that is a long story short. That is why we are here. And I want to thank every young person who has found time to join us. We hope that by the end of this webinar, we are going to be able to learn to interact and we're going to engage better on the YouthLead platform to make the most out of it. So basically, thank you so much to young people, to young Kenyans who are joining the platform. That is basically why we are here. And we are hoping that from the interactions, the question and answer session that we are going to have, we are going to learn more. So if you have any questions, please send them into the chat. We'll be able to pick them up. I know we are going to have a Q&A session towards the end, if time allows. And we are going to be able to, as much as possible, answer every question that we will be able to answer. So thank you so much, Abolaji. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Hubert. My manners, actually, I was going to start the session by actually saying good evening in Kenya, which is Abari Zajoni, right? So Abari Zajoni, everyone. I hope I really got it right.
Yeah, you did. You're
okay. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so just to share with us what the agenda for today is. So today we would basically be, of course, we had introductions already. We'd also have a panel session where we'd have Maria join the session. We'd have Edna Tukiko, who is also a youth advisory group member, Youth Power Youth Advisory Group, and then we'll take a deep dive into what the platform is, and then we can have a discussion afterwards, and then of course we could do some networking sessions. But then before we go into the panel session, I would just want to give opportunity to 3 persons who are here on this call, and I'm going to actually call on those who have their videos turned on, and then we could just do an introduction about your name. So, for example, your name. What county or what province you're calling in from, and then your particular interest. So for example, I am Abolaji Omitogun. I'm Nigerian, actually. So I'm here in Washington, D.C., and I'm particularly passionate about social entrepreneurship and having to support young entrepreneurs in their endeavors. So I'm going to pass the mic to Ernest. Ernest, I see you on the call. So feel free to unmute yourself, and then once you're done, you call on the next person. Okay, I'm going to call the next person. Ernest, you're next.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Kenyans. My name is Gospel Ernest. I'm calling from Nigeria. I actually have passion, being an innovative entrepreneur, seeing how one can synergize, work together with other entrepreneurs to create innovative platforms that will feed our young startups. That's my passion.
Thank you, Ernest.
Thank you very much for that. I'm new here. This is my first time. I'm not yet a member of YouthLead, but I just read the mission and everything. I went on the platform. It was so amazing. I was like, oh, this is my first time seeing this. So let me key in. That's why
Awesome.
I'm on the call.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ernest. And so next I'm going to call on Billy Ojwang. Billy, please quickly have an introduction.
Thank you. I'm Billy Ojwang from Kenya. Thank you for having us this wonderful day. My passion or my line of interest is in advocacy. That is by leveraging on digital media. I have a podcast, and currently I'm working with an organization to help them form digital content. So that is my line. So bringing about advocacy messages and channeling them through social media to pass them to the young people out there. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Billy. I see Robertina raising her hand. So Robertina, over to you. Please unmute and introduce yourself. Robertina?
Thank you. My name is Robertina. I'm really sorry I can't be on video, but I'm from Kenya and I'm calling in from Laikipia County. I'm really happy to be in this platform and I'm looking forward to have an engaging session. Thank you so much.
And then we have Oliver. I saw you raising your hand earlier. Oliver, are you still there? Oliver, are you still there? All right, so I guess Oliver is unable to mute. So last person I would like to call is Sharif, Dr. Sharif El Tan. So please go ahead and introduce yourself. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm all right now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Sharif El Tahan from Egypt. I'm the president of International Union of Sustainable Development. Actually, I'm very happy to be with you here, and you can do it together and can do the best for all the world. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so thank you all for the introduction. We would also have some more time after once we close to the ending of this session. So I'll have more introductions. But for now, I would like to call on Belly, who would be leading us to the next part of this conversation, which is basically a panel discussion. So Belly, I know you're on the call, so feel free to unmute yourself, have an introduction of yourself, and then also introduce the panelists on the call also.
Thank you so much, Abolaji. Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see you. I hope you're hearing me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, nice. So my name is Julian Sorondo. I'm a member of the YouthLead. I'm in the platform already. I'm the founder and director of Ambitious Girls 254. It's an organization that does mentorship to both girls and boys in primary and secondary schools. I'm also a professional publicist. I've won an award. It's called Women Appreciating Women Honorary Award, and I'm also in the list of 100 most influential Kenyans in the Hall of Fame list in 2019. Personally, I'm passionate about working with teenagers. I just want to see them thrive in whichever field that they choose, and I do that through mentorship that I do with my team in Ambitious Girls 254. And I know I'll be among the people who will impact young lives in the next generation. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so glad that we can have this discussion and to know more about YouthLead, because I joined early in the year. And so far, can I go ahead and tell you what I've learned from the platform?
Yeah, please do. Please go ahead and do. Anyway.
Yeah, well, it's Philbert who told me about YouthLead. When he became the ambassador, he told me about YouthLead, and I was so interested. When I signed in filled up my profile. And one of the most amazing things that I love on the YouthLead platform is the fact that I could network with people who had the same interest like
Oops, looks like you're breaking.
She's a doctor from, is it Zimbabwe? I think Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Malawi.
And we were, sorry?
Malawi.
Yeah, oh, she's from Malawi, yeah. Yeah, and several other people that I've met on the network that are so passionate about what I do and what they do. Our articles, since I'm a writer, I've written several articles. You know, we always need a place where we can share our knowledge with people, whereby I can share and get people comment and also learn from other people. The several articles that I've read from people on YouthLead that have really helped me, and also the tools that we have there. There are several opportunities. I've applied for 2 scholarships for my master's. I'm hopeful I'll be taken. So that is one thing that I really, even the funding opportunities for people who have organizations, because we have the donors and the funders in the platform. So if you post whatever you're doing, they can pick you up or you can connect with them. So YouthLead has been so amazing, and I'm glad to be part of it. So that's all about me and how YouthLead has helped me a lot. So right about now, we are going to our panel session, and we have, we can now go ahead to the panel session, and I have my three guests, Maria, Edna, and Philbert, and I'll call you to introduce yourself. You tell us about, let me be biased. I'll start with Maria. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Hello, everybody. I'm really excited to be with you. Thank you for inviting me to be on the call today. And I'm the Senior Knowledge Management Specialist with the Youth Powered to Learning and Evaluation Project. And I've also been involved in this project for about 5 years and have had the pleasure to help and spearhead the creation of YouthLead.
Thank you so much, Maria. That's amazing. Edna, can you introduce yourself?
Edna, you're on mute.
Thanks.
Edna, online?
Yes, hi. Thank you, Belly, for the kind introduction, and it's nice to meet everyone.
Hi, Edna.
Hi. Yeah, so my name is Edna. I'm one of the 7 recently selected youth advisory group for Youth Power to Learning and Evaluation Group. I'm honored to be one of the members out of the very competitive process. I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to talk about my role now or later, or just to introduce myself.
You'll talk about it later.
Okay, all right. But it's nice to see you. Nice to see you, Philbert. Nice to see everyone. Thank you, Abolaji. Back to you, Belly. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Edna. I saw your profile and it's amazing. I know you'll take many people and mentor them. So Philbert, please introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Bailey. My name is Philbert Aganyo, the YouthLead Ambassador for Kenya. And I'm passionate about youth development and climate change. Those two meet together in youth advocacy for a clean environment for us to live in. And I know as we progress with the discussion, we will be able to get an opportunity to share a little bit more about the inspirations behind those ideals. But I very much am passionate about youth development, and that's why I'm even part of this great platform. Thank you so much, and it's good to see everyone. Yes.
Thank you so much, Philbert. It's because of you that we are all having this meeting, and we do not take it for granted. Thank you very much. May God bless you. To everybody who is in the session today, we are going to the panel session whereby I'll be asking our three panelists, Maria, Philbert, and Edna, some questions. If you have any question or any point that if they've said something and you want more clarification, or you have a question that you'd want them to answer, kindly just write it down. And I know, Abolaji, you are going to pick up the questions, and once we are done with the answer. So for now, please tune in and listen to what they have to say. Maria, could you kindly tell us about YouthLead and the Youth Power and the evaluation project and how it came to be? We'd really like to understand how YouthLead came into being.
Sure, Billy. Thank you for the question. So, Youth Power to Learning and Evaluation, which is kind of the official long name, is a USAID funded project, and USAID has funded youth power projects for over 5 years. The initial focus was on working with youth program implementers and researchers, and less about working directly with youth, at least kind of at the global level. Obviously, they've done that at the local level. And then about 2 years ago, several youth groups like YALI, which some of you may know, and others, identified the need for a global youth-specific platform, like for peer-to-peer networking and youth-specific resources. And so USAID decided to create a special platform for them, and thus was born YouthLead.org. And so in addition to another website that we had, which was more focused on the implementers, which was youthpower.org, we then created YouthLead.org and launched it in December 2018 at the World Bank Youth Summit. And since then it has grown to over 7,200 members. We wanted to be a network of young change makers, people like all of you who want to make a difference in the lives of their community, their country, at the global level, and connect with other youth that have similar goals. And so the idea is to create this peer-to-peer connections, learn from each other, inspire each other, as well as having direct access to resources and funding opportunities, and do all of that in a safe environment. So you will have noticed if you've gone to the site that you can access resources, events, and funding opportunities without registering. But when you want to access the member information and connect with members, you need to create a profile, and only members can use our discussion groups. And the members can also post the projects and get more visibility for projects. And over the last half year, I would say, we have also received more requests from either sponsors of ours or from USAID themselves to identify great leaders for like a conference or for projects, etc. And so we've used this network to give young change makers an opportunity to work on interesting projects or present at conferences. Nowadays, mostly virtual conferences. And we're also very thankful to have 23 sponsors that themselves have great youth networks like Teach for All or IRI or NDI, or that are implementing youth exchange programs like IREX and other organizations. And so this is really a network of networks of young change makers. So let me stop there.
Well, looks like we lost Billy. Billy, are you still there? Oops, that's one of the challenges you have with technology during calls like this. So I guess Ephraim can just step in briefly while Billy, we still try to maintain establish connection with Billy. Ephraim?
Thank you, Abolaji.
Yes.
Yes,
so maybe,
thank you, Maria. We have a... Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Thank you. So Maria, thank you. We have a second question for you. Can you please highlight some of the benefits of the platform, the YouthLead platform, to our audience on the call? Our audiences are from Kenya actually today, and please can you explain that for us? Thank you.
Yes, of course. So I think I alluded to some of them in the initial kind of talk, but I think what some of you have already mentioned in your introduction, that networking, the peer-to-peer networking, and being able to find youth that have similar goals in terms of making a difference, and that can tell you also about what it's like to do a project like they are doing, either in the same country where you are or in a different country. I think that is probably the biggest value that I see in YouthLead. But the other one is obviously also funding opportunities. You know, we post a lot of funding opportunities whenever we become aware of something, and all our members can post funding opportunities. So I know that that is one of the most used portions of our website. And that obviously can be used by anybody who comes to our website. And I think the third most important thing, at least from my perspective, but I'm sure you can all tell us more about other things that you found, is the resources. We've created and posted a lot of toolkits. And so, for example, if you're trying to create more advocacy, we have a lot of different resources that talk about how to get started, what resources, what tools are available. Or if you want to start a small business, we have resources about entrepreneurship. Or if you want to learn more about you know, gender and gender programming and all that. So we have a lot of different resources based on interests that we've heard from youth. And we always welcome new ideas. So if you identify things that you think we should develop more resources for, we will be happy to provide some additional ones. Back to you, Ephraim.
Okay, looks like we have Belly back actually. So Belly, yeah, we lost you earlier. So I think, are you still there? Because we lost you earlier. So I think you can go on again with your question, I think for Philbert this time around.
Okay, thanks so much for standing in for me. So Philbert, please tell us about yourself, your background, and whatever you're passionate about, the social issue that you're tackling. We'd really love to know what motivates you and what makes you tick when you take up this social issue. Over to you, Philbert.
Thank you so much, Belly. I introduced myself earlier on. Philbert Aganyo is my name, from Kenya. I'm passionate about youth development, inclusive youth development, and youth participation. And an overarching theme that I've been passionate about since the year 2016 is climate change. Now, climate change is an emerging area, as some of you may have known, and we have a whole webinar series that we did on climate change. I believe I'll be able to share with the YouthLead members from Kenya through our WhatsApp group. There are some links to some of the content that we generated as a result of the webinar series and the social issue campaign that we did. But my background is I'm a development consultant and also working as a program officer on climate change issues. My education background is political science and public administration from the University of Nairobi. And my passion for youth development drove me to apply. I'm one person, and I want to pass this as a tip. Not a single day will end without me going to the internet, going online to just check out. Sometimes I just Google randomly, youth development, internship opportunities or fellowships that are available. And I go through some of them. You'll get quite a number. And I always look at those that I qualify for. So that is what led me to meet YALI, the Young African Leaders Initiative that I applied for. I was a member of cohort 5. I'm glad Edna is here with me. Edna and I were in the same cohort 5 of YALI. And building on that YALI experience and the fellowship and the opportunities that were there, quite massive, really good. It actually launched me into the career, into my youth development career. Again, that is the same energy that I had when I was searching out sometime last year around October, and I found the YouthLead ambassador program. There was the call for ambassadors. And so if you have a passion for youth development and it guides even your internet search information. I mean, if I have a smartphone and have, I'm maybe privileged to have bundles that I can go online, what are some of the things? I always ask young people, what are some of the things that you do with the opportunity that you have on your smartphone? Do you want to watch movies all the time, or do you want to spend it to, to do something productive? Not that watching movies is not productive. Well, it's a good pastime, but again, we need to distinguish between that time. So that is a little bit of background that I had as I was going by my duties, my routine of searching the internet and finding opportunities that were there. I found YouthLead platform on Twitter, and I decided to check it out. And as a result of checking it out, I submitted an application. I planned to submit an application, and out of, I know probably Abolaji would want to emphasize on this, out of, I don't know how many they were, about over 600 applications, I was privileged to be selected to represent Kenya. And that to me was a very, very significant feat and an achievement. And so my background is inclusive youth development, which has driven me to be biased. In my internet, in my online engagement, I'm very biased towards youth development opportunities. If I find one that I don't qualify for, I will always share it with my friends who I feel qualify for the same. And so that is what I spend. And I'm also, lastly, engaged with the youth.
I would love to interject you.
Sorry?
Yeah, I wanted to interject you. The social issue that you're tackling is climate change. Please tell us why you are passionate about climate change.
Oh, thank you so much for that interjection.
Why are you passionate about climate change?
Thank you so much. So that I don't lose my train of thought, I was saying that I'm involved with the Youth and Success Association, and under that, we do youth development. So I'm there as a facilitator on personal branding and effective communication. I wanted to just finish that. Thank you so much. Now, on climate change, my very first interaction and my first interest was built around the year 2016 at the United Nations Environment Assembly that was held in Nairobi. Of course, all the United Nations Environment Assemblies are held in Nairobi because Nairobi hosts the United Nations Environment Program. It was held at the United Nations Complex. I attending the conference on behalf of the University of Nairobi, where I was a student leader. I happened to meet Akim Steiner. Akim Steiner back then was the executive director for UNEP. Right now he's with the UNDP. And in our 5-minute conversation, it was actually not even 5 minutes. It was typically just an elevator pitch, like a 1-minute discussion, because people were very busy, diplomats rushing left, right, and center. And so in the 1 minute that I got to sit with him, he pushed me towards a conference, one of the breakout sessions. He told me, I've heard you in the plenary session, the questions you asked were very particular. So I'm sending you to this particular plenary, to this particular breakout session. Go to this conference. Yes.
I'm interjecting you again because we'll run out of time. Just give us one reason why you're passionate about climate change, and then we'll go to our next guest, Edna, but then I'll come back to you again and we'll still talk about that. All right? Just tell us why you're passionate about climate change, and then I go to the next guest.
Okay, thank you so much. I feel that climate change is very pertinent because that is where the future of our world rests. The forests that we have, for example, in Kenya, I like using examples. Fifi, if you allow me, let me just give this very brief background. The forests of this world are like the lungs of our world. And so climate change ensures that we have a livable environment and society to live in. And that is why I feel very passionate taking part in this. The background that I was giving was as a result of my engagement with the climate change and the environmental discussions at the United Nations. So that is where my main passion for activism and advocacy on climate change developed. I could share this even outside the forum because we are limited for time. I'm glad to do that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gilbert. I know you have written something and you'll share it with us. I think through a Bolaji or in our WhatsApp group, you're going to tell us more about that. So let me go to Edna. Edna, you're a person of interest, especially to me. Could you kindly tell us about your background, the social issue that you're passionate about, and also the role that you're playing now that you are elected as one of the members in the Youth Advisory Group?
Thank you,
Yes,
Belly.
Edna.
Yeah, thank you, Belly. I'll start again by reintroducing myself. My name is Edna. I'm a mentorship liaison person in the group of 7 advisory members of YP2LE. So my role as a mentorship liaison, I'll talk about our roles as the advisory group and then my roles. So our roles is to give strategic support to the work of Youth Power 2 learning and evaluation in building evidence and dissemination in various ways. So we have capacity building, communication, advocacy, engagement with young people, research, and mentorship. So mine is mentorship, and I have 2 main deliverables. One, at the end of the 1-year engagement, I'll be supporting the project lead at YP2LE to come up with a concept on how to engage young people online through various online platforms, and also supporting the different tools, products related to mentorship. And 2, I'll be soliciting inputs from young people through surveys and through outreach onto the mentorship program that will be rolling out, because it will be a pilot. So I think I qualified for this position because of my background, which I will now introduce. I have 7 years of experience working in mentorship. I started in Kenya. There's an organization called Global Give Back Circle. It's the largest girls program for at-risk girls that focuses on girls' education and mentorship. Thereafter, I was part of YALI. I was one of the people who was a consultant in creating the first mentorship program for the YALI East Southern Africa, for the first 2 cohorts of participants. So I was a consultant behind the scenes. And then I've also engaged in the MasterCard Foundation mentoring for scholars from all over the world, the MasterCard Foundation program. So that's about it. Right now, I'm a youth officer, adolescent and youth officer at UNFPA in Bangladesh. So my time here is like almost 9 p.m. and I'm happy to engage with you.
Thank you, Edna. That's so.
So I'll just add my passionate. I'm passionate about SDG 345, that is health, education, and gender, because this is based on my story growing up. I'm one out of 13 girls in my primary school who made it to college. I've seen a lot of girls in Kenya fall through the cracks and not make it in education because of gender issues, because of health issues, because of lack of education access, but also because of the thing that we all recognize, that by 2050, we'll have the highest population of the world in the least developed countries. And in Kenya, for example, 75% of the total population is under the age of 35. And if we don't invest in terms of health, education, and addressing the gender barriers, we won't be able to achieve the demographic dividend. So I'm very passionate about young people because young people are the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Edna. So the last question, now that you are, from your background, you've worked with a lot of youth networks, young people networks. Could you kindly tell us the importance of such networks on how we can get to make it, how we can get to learn a lot from the network and how we can get to those networks?
Yeah. So I'll start by saying networking is very important for young people. Anyone hoping to build a career or to pursue a cause that they deeply believe in, such as what Colbert has said, climate change. One of the things about networking is you learn about an industry. So for example, I'm interested in SDG 3, 4, 5, basically on young people and adolescents. So by networking with people of like minds, I will learn more about the critical issues in this field. So I think that the one thing that is important is learning more about the industry, not just knowing an overview, but having the statistics, the data, and making your why very clear on what exactly you can achieve in that particular industry and what you can contribute. Second is learning from others. Through networking, you meet people who are older than you, people who are younger than you. I know now they say the younger are more innovative, the older have all the experience. So you learn from the mistakes and you learn from the wins and the losses of different people. And you know, I think they say that you can't make all the mistakes and learn by yourself in a lifetime. So a network enables you to learn from people who've been through that. And through that, you can make your own initiative or your projects better by learning from different people from different fields and from different countries, especially. And I think Youth Power to Learning YouthLead platform is a good platform for this networking. Third is to ideas. When you have an idea as a young person and you have a good network, you bounce off your ideas off these people. You ask them, like, what do you think? What do you think I can improve? Something like that. I think networking is good for that. Fourth is opportunities. Maria spoke about this, so I won't repeat so much about this, but networking is really important for opportunities, for resources, and lastly, to synergize with people working in the same field. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Edna. We are coming to the end of this session, but before we do that, Philbert, know that you're the convener of this. Kindly tell us how YouthLead has impacted you as an individual and the benefits that you've gotten from the platform and what you would like to highlight to us, especially the Kenyan youth that are really listening and we want to be part of this network. I'm giving you 2 minutes to explain that to us.
Okay, thank you so much, Pelly. Let me start by saying that when I got into the YouthLead platform, let me first of all start by highlighting that Edna has mentioned that 75% of the youth population in Kenya are below 35. Now, let me throw in another percentage there. 74% of Africa's total population is youth, is below the age of 35. Well, I've seen in the chat box somebody asking that the youth age probably maybe needs to be extended to cover maybe 40 or even 42. Well, that's a discussion that's at the global level. But 74% of the youth, total population of Africa is below 35 years of age. Now, looking at that, the youth definitely are going to be the significant segment that will drive the political, business, and social leadership of not just the continent, but also of the world at the global stage. Now, having joined YouthLead, I was able to network with many other young people. Now, Edna has well articulated the benefits of networking, so I'm not going to delve so much into that. Let me just mention that I got the glorious opportunity to network with other like-minded young people on the YouthLead platform. And I believe some of my colleagues who are also part of the platform, you will be able to bear me witness that there are so many young people who challenge you. I personally like being challenged. I don't know, I find it intimidating in a positive way when I meet somebody who is in the same interest area as me, but who has more knowledge than me, somebody that I can always learn from. So that kind of intimidation really works well. And that is the kind of intimidation that I got from the YouthLead platform. So just to highlight in a simple way, my journey as an ambassador, taking part in social issue campaigns, collaborating, driving thought leadership on some of these topical issues, and also discussing, looking at the discussion groups on the YouthLead platform, engaging and interacting with some of the discussions. You realize that there are people with diverse opinions from those that you have. And what do you get at the end? You get knowledge and you get your perspective being sharpened to get this worldview. The way some things happen in Kenya are not necessarily how it happens in Nigeria or how it happens in Bangladesh, where Edna is. people have their different backgrounds, and these all have value when it comes to inclusive collaboration for maximum impact. So that is one of the things that I got from the YouthLead platform, and it's the same thing that I would still encourage my colleagues, my other young people to equally benefit from. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Philbert. That was quite elaborate. I think we've come to the end of this session. Unless, Maria, you want to add something? If not, I'll hand over back to Abolaji to continue with the program.
Perhaps just a quick comment, which is that I saw several questions about how to join. And it's very easy. Just go to youthlead.org and complete your profile. And in response to one of the other questions, yes, we are also live in Uganda. The platform is global. We have youth from all over the globe. So we encourage everybody to join and hope we will all see you on the platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maria, Philbert, and Edna. That was an amazing session. So back to you, Abolaji. You can take over.
All right, thank you very much, Belly. Thank you so much for anchoring the session. We're also grateful for our speakers who also joined us during the session. So not to take too much of your time again, I would just go straight into, so many people have asked, how does the platform really work? How do I interact or engage with the platform? So I just want to take us through it very short, because our time is short, a very quick dive into how the platform works itself. So like we all know, it's a platform for young change makers with with a lot of ample resources, event opportunities, funding opportunities. Like Maria said earlier, we are in partnership with 23 different international development organizations, and these organizations are constantly posting their funding opportunities on the platform. So if you're looking for ways to access funding for your projects, here's a very good opportunity for you through YouthLead, because we are always these organizations are often reaching out to us with these opportunities for them to be posted on the platform. So I would also just want to show you. I hope you all can see my screen, because I'm sharing my screen, and if you can just do a thumbs up on the screen, I would just know. Thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, great. So this is the platform itself. Really, you can see number of projects that have been posted on the platform. We have over 7,000 members on the platform. Funding opportunities have been posted. There's been 750, and over 2,400 resources have been posted. So really interactive website. You can also, see what's happening on our Facebook, Twitter, and then of course we also have a news section on the platform where we constantly highlight some of the really important news updates that is happening within the platform itself. So next is we also highlight the project from different young change makers like you on the platform. So once you post up a project about any project that you're doing, we often look out for ways to actually amplify some of your projects, either through our newsletters or even highlighting them on the landing page of the website itself. Again, also highlighting our members from over 200 different countries on the platform, the funding opportunities, like I mentioned earlier, and of course, you can find out really upcoming events that are happening on the platform, and then also the resources that are present that are definitely relevant to young change makers to you on the platform. So I just want to really drill down on basically how can you, for example, put up your projects on the platform. So it's really easy. Once you get to the platform, of course, you need to sign in. You need to be a member of the platform to be able to really access some of the really interesting features of the platform, which is example, uploading your resource, your project on the platform. And then to do this, I'm going to just highlight one of the projects for you to see how it looks like, and then also show you the back end of how highlighting your project looks like. So this is a project from one of our members on the platform, Lend a Hand Africa. So she recently conducted a essentially launched a contactless hand washing machine in one of the communities in Lagos, Nigeria. And then, here she's able to highlight what with the pictures, what our project is all about. She talks about the state, the project itself is at financing stage. It's a wide scale adoption. You can also pinpoint which location this project are. You can also upload quite a lot of pictures about your project, and of course, get feedbacks or comments from other members on the platform. So if you want to know how to basically add projects to your platform, all you need to do is click on the add project feature on the platform itself, and then this takes you to the back end of the platform itself, where you can add your title, where you can add the title of your project. You can add the description of the project. If it's at financing stage, you can put, for example, the financing stage. You can also mention the people that have been impacted by the platform, by the number of people that have been impacted by the project itself. You can pinpoint the location that is location by which people are interacting or you're impacting with the platform itself also. So yeah, so this is my internet is quite slow, I believe. So I think my internet is quite slow. So I think it might be a slow down the network. So next, also, I also want to touch briefly on the funding opportunities. So same thing with the funding opportunities, easy for you to basically, because we're always looking out for ways to have our members share their funding opportunities on the platform. Someone says they cannot see my screen. I'm actually projecting my screen actually. So funding opportunities, same thing. You can also you can share funding opportunities that you come across. Philbert mentioned a very interesting point about whenever he sees opportunities, and even though he feels he doesn't qualify, he's looking out for ways to share with others. And this is something that we feel strongly about on the platform. People who have access to information are always giving out sharing those opportunities with other young change makers on the platform. So same thing, if you want to add a funding opportunity, all you need to do is just click on the funding opportunity, and then you had the funding information, what the funding is all about, where the funding may apply to. So this is just the back, just to show you the back end. So of course you need to have the funding title, the description of the funding that you want to add, the URL of the funding, the deadlines that might be needed for the for the funding. One very interesting feature about YouthLead is that the platform also is very, very accessible. So people who are visually impaired are able to use the platform. So also know that whenever you're also sharing contents on the platform, please learn to put, especially when it comes to using images, also try and add the alternative text so that people who are visually impaired can also have access to these resources. So yeah, so also check out the sectors that this funding might apply to, the topic that might apply to, and then basically you publish the funding opportunity. Same thing with the project earlier. So you name the name of your project that you want to write about, the project blog, which is like a short description about what your project is all about, and then you had a description about your project, point of contact. If you have example at the point of contact of the project, you can tell us quite a lot of information you can actually put in there. Where the project is being created, where it is being implemented. Sometimes it's different from where a project is created is different from where a project sometimes is implemented. So you can put in all those interesting features right there. Next, again, you check out where which sector your project might apply. So if your project is around the issues of youth, energy, environment, agriculture, you can basically check out those boxes so that when people are looking out for project ideas, looking out for people they might want to reach out to for project, they can easily find your project really quick. So you can also put up the money, the funding you've basically raised through your project also, and add pictures. And then once that is done, you can basically publish the project. Same thing applies to the resources, easy for you to upload resources, journal articles, toolkits, manuals that you find useful to other young people also. You can definitely upload those on the content on the platform. Some of the really interesting projects you'd find is, for example, social issue terminologies, youth celebrate diversity, religion and interfaith dialogues, tons and tons of resources. I mean, this Belly mentioned earlier how she really consumes some of the content on this platform. These are contents that are being provided by other young people or even organizations themselves. Organizations are putting out those toolkits, those manuals that might be useful for you in your various change-making activities. So go on there and really check out those content also. And then the same thing, like I said earlier, is easy for you to just by clicking on the add resource button there, you're able to add your resources. Same thing with the event pages. When you have an event that you want to share with your peers, either in Kenya or even globally, you can post up those contents there. All you need to do is add the name of the event itself, add the content description, the deadlines where the contents where the event is going to take place. You see here, so the title of the event, the description of the event, start date and the end date, and sometimes the deadlines, if the event has a deadline, what country is the event happening. So if I want to select, for example, where's the event happening, I can basically select Kenya there, and then other people who are young change makers in Kenya can also find or get notifications when your events, when you post up these events also. So like I said, this is really, really a huge opportunity for you to basically amplify your work, spread out those opportunities that you find relevant to other young people. Interestingly, I know this is not been official, but then we are working also to create a YouthLead Kenya page, but then the announcement of this, the official date of announcement will be made known to you later on. So the YouthLead Kenya page is basically a page dedicated to Kenya itself. So young people from Kenya can have a portal to basically collaborate with themselves. So if you, I'm just going to click on one of the platform here. So let's use Malawi as an example. So whenever it's more like a close-knitted community for young people. So for example, YouthLead Malawi, this is YouthLead Malawi, and then you can basically promote your own project that you're doing in your own local community, for example, in Kenya. So this project, for example, was an initiative conducted in Kenya. So when you go to the YouthLead Kenya, you're able to see these details, you see. You can also be able to view the members that might be in your country, but then this would come later on. But then this is something you should look out for, and you should really be excited about. It creates that community where you can actually reach out directly to people within your own local within Kenya itself. Another interesting feature is the group discussion. Like the group discussion allow members on the platform to be able to collaborate, reach out even beyond just posting content on the platform, having to share questions or dialogues that are very, very important. So most members of the platform will engage on the All YouthLead members and alumni group. So once you click that, it takes you into the group discussion. There are several topics or several group threads that are ongoing on the platform. Whichever it is that you feel like you want to engage in, you can definitely reach out to people to be the group discussion. I think one interesting group discussion that I think was how youth can improve transparency and governance in their own country. I think this was hosted by one of our YouthLead ambassadors, and then this group discussion really talked about how young people can basically find a way to basically improve their own transparency and accountability and governance in their own community. And they have other young groups actually reaching out and sharing ideas on, hey, here's how we are doing it in our own country. Here's how accountability can also be further improved in our own communities also. So feel free to join any of these conversations. Feel free to share your opinions, your own thoughts, your own thoughts and your own opinions also. So next, I would also like to talk about your profile. So this is something that is very, very important. Oftentimes we get organizations reach out to us to that they want to, we are looking for young change makers in XYZ field, young change makers who have experience in XYZ. And then the only way we get to know this is when you have a well-detailed profile. So go on your profiles, update your account, share, tell us what you're doing in your profile, tell us how you're making a change, for example, tell us the field where you might be, particularly active. So, I mean, as much as possible, give a lot of details. Let it look as if it's your CV. So that when we get our organizations reaching out to us and saying, hey, we're carrying out an assessment in Kenya and we're looking for youths who are doing work in gender-related field, we are easily able to find you and say, hey, you know, this is Billy, this is Belly, this is Philbert, who are in youth in Kenya, working in this field. So please and please again, always constantly update your profile as you improve on your activities. Also update on your profile. I know we're really short of time, and I'm really rushing this presentation, and I know that I'm also believing you guys are also grabbing what a few things that I'm also saying. So what's next after you upload your profile? You can also check out members and reach out directly to members on the platform. This is really interesting profile. So I'm going to click on one of the members here, and then this is our profile. I'm able to send a direct message on the platform, able to see what work she's doing. If she's has some project, I'm able to see her project, but this member doesn't have a project so far. But then, like I said, the interesting thing is you can reach directly to this person by clicking on the message icon on the platform. Hey, so I say like, hi, I like your project, etc. And then you can type in your message there. Once you type in your message, this person receives that information, your message, and of course, you establish a connection with the young change maker. So yeah, I mean, that's how one of the ways you can really interact with the platform, really engage on the platform, always looking for ideas to interact on the platform. So I also want to talk about, a lot of people have been asking that, hey, how can I get badges on the platform? So for every 7th resource you post on the platform, you get a knowledge badge on the platform, all right? So for every, so once you post up to 5 events on the platform, you also get a badge for that also. For every project for every 3rd project that you post on the platform, you get an innovator badge. That is, innovator badge is accredited, given to your profile. You also get a changemaker profile. When the more you reach out to people, the more you get connected to people, you get a what's it called, a changemaker badge. So these are some of the ways that you can also, you know, amp up your profile. If you want your profile to be displayed on the front page of the platform, try and maximize these options also. And then, so what happens after you join the platform? Like I said earlier, complete your profile, reach out to other young change makers, you know, share upcoming events or funding opportunities that you might find really relevant to the youth themselves. Also post on discussion groups, and then you're also able to receive the monthly updates on the platform. I know time is up, but I think I was able to rush up this presentation. But I also want to just take some other questions that we might have here. So if you have some questions, I've seen questions here saying like, yes, as their youth lead for country page for Nigeria. There's no country page yet for Nigeria, but then these are things that we are constantly looking at to, you know, the more we get the demands for country pages, then the more we definitely look to establish country pages in those countries. So Ephraim, I know we have some questions, and we do not have too much time for questions, but then I just want to ask, are there any questions we should be looking out to answer? And Maria, feel free to also chime in here. I am really pressed for time. I also want to be respectful of your time also. So any questions from the audience, feel free to unmute yourself and then ask your question.
Abolaji, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
I know I'm not supposed to ask a question, but probably this is to seek clarification. I've received 2 questions on my Facebook inbox of young people who are asking, what monetary or financial gain do people get from joining the YouthLead platform? I know young people, whenever we have projects, we have initiatives, the first thing that comes to our mind is there some form of monetary or financial gain that we get from being members of the YouthLead platform? I do not know, probably maybe you may want to respond to this.
Yeah, interesting question actually. Like I always like when young people ask like, hey, funding opportunities and etc. It is true. One thing to note is that YouthLead doesn't particularly provide funding opportunities. We don't provide funding itself to projects. But then what we do is we provide these funding opportunities from other organizations. For example, when an organization has a project or funding opportunity for young people, we can direct young people to say, hey, here's an opportunity you can definitely go check out for your project. Also, we also do have engagements. I mean, we also do have some project contests from time to time on the platform where we also give out honorariums, like honorariums for young change makers. For example, part of our YouthLead Ambassadors program, we give out honorarium stipend for participants of the platform or of the program itself. Our peer advisors also got some funding opportunities. So when you find funding opportunities, programs opportunities on YouthLead, try and apply for them. It doesn't have to be directly from us. It could be from other partner organizations or sponsor organizations who are offering this funding. So yeah, I hope I was able to answer your question, Philbert. All right, so any other question, Betty?
Yeah,
I see you unmute yourself.
Have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, I'm already unmuted. My question is, I've taken my time to go through the leadership of YouthLead and people who are getting opportunities, especially the latest one that was the Youth Advisory Council. And one thing that I realized with them, because I also applied and I was like, why were these people taken and I was not taken, so that I improve myself? And the most outstanding thing that I realized that most of them are either Yali Fellows, Mandela Washington Fellows, Atlas Copco. That is one thing that they were ahead of me. And now my question is, where do we stand? Those of us who have not been to the fellows, do we stand a chance of getting any leadership opportunities? Because most of these
Okay, I think I get your question, Belly. Your network is.
We have gone. Oh, you yourself are from Atlas Copco, Silbert, and everyone. Thank you.
All right, Belly, I get your question. Thank you very much. So I see Maria on muting herself, so I'll leave Maria to go ahead first, and then maybe I can add somebody every other point. Maria?
Yes. So the short answer is definitely yes. It very often depends on the type of
Maria, your audio is quite shaky.
I'm sorry.
Okay, it's better now.
Is it better now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the answer is definitely yes. And it depends on what we are looking for. So, you know, as we mentioned, we've had some contests like poetry and essay contests, photo contests, and then we have had the ambassadors and
Maria, I'm gonna interject.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Your audio is going off and on. Yeah, but I think I get where Maria is saying. So I'm just gonna like say and feel free to also chat it in the chat box also. So what Maria said, that we also have depending on what we are really looking for. I mean, we have contests that we hold for ourselves. For example, we held the photo contest just recently last year, and then we also held the turning point contest, which was a writing contest. So I mean, depends really on what the program is looking for. We don't particularly preference, people from other network, like, hey, I have to be an Atlas Core member, you have to be a Yali member. No, usually selections are usually based on merit and what the program is particularly looking for. So there are definitely ways. We're always definitely looking out for the merit, credibility, and not particularly because not because you've gone through 10 fellowships or 10 networks and etc. So definitely we are not biased or anything, but then we definitely looking out for ways to also create more opportunities for people. So yeah, Billy, I hope I also answered your question, and I know Maria is also put in the chat box.
Sorry, Abolaji. There's one question which came in the beginning of the session. So Evelyn, she is from Kenya, and this is her first session. She's asking if the platform supports non-entrepreneurs, if they can join and benefit from the platform.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, Ephraim. Okay, yeah, so yes. All right, so the platform definitely supports non-entrepreneur. I mean, any social change maker or social innovator can basically join the platform. So you don't have to own a company. You don't have to be running a company for you to be able to join the platform. what we're looking for are young people who are passionate about change, either leading local community local community organizing in their own communities. If you're passionate about environment, if you're passionate about gender issues, if you're passionate about water issues, if it's youth organizing that you're particularly passionate about and really empowering people with skills, the platform is definitely open for you. You don't have to be an entrepreneur or some sort. Anyways, as long as you have the passion to be able to, and willingness to create some local change, basically. All right, so Ephraim, I would leave you to advance us into how other young people can join on the platform, and then we can give the last word to panelists, and then also to Belly and everybody and we can close out.
Thank you, Avolaji. Thank you, our speakers. Kenyan team is always very vibrant and very strong. Thank you very much for coming to this webinar and asking many questions. We'll keep doing this. And Philbert, also thanks for initiating this. Once more, just to remind you that if you haven't yet joined the YouthLead.org platform, it's youthlead.org. We have wrote the link, we dropped the link on the chat box. And we encourage you to do so because this will enable you to network with other young change makers and join discussion groups. I've seen questions coming from Uganda and Nigeria also. Do we have you don't have to be from a specific country. You can be from anywhere in the world and you can join the YouthLead platform. That's the beauty of platform. You can join, and once you join the platform, there will be a profile. You will have your own profile. Abulaje was showing the profile page. And once you have a profile page, you will need to upload some projects, some activities. For example, you have a webinar, you can drop it there, and there are more than 7,000 young people from different parts of the world. So it's a huge platform for the young people. So whether it's a resource or a blog or a short video, events or funding opportunities. And also, we're looking for more young people to engage into discussion groups. These discussion groups, anyone can initiate a discussion groups, but we also have an existing discussion groups. You can join and you can discuss about different things. And like Abulaji said, you can also earn pointers for every badge. You can also earn badges and pointers. So the other benefit you can get from the YouthLead, which is very interesting, is that you'll be getting a monthly email, a newsletter, and this newsletter consists of links for funding, links for opportunities, for different kinds of things. And finally, we would like to thank our various sponsors who are promoting YouthLead to their youth networks and contribute resources, events, and various funding opportunities. Our sponsors are offering their expertise, knowledge on various topics, and we work with them to organize a skill building training webinars for our YouthLead members. For example, today, an example is today's webinar. You will hear some of them on the future webinars, and you can see some of our sponsors on the screen right now. Next, please. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Okay, finally introducing the team behind the YouthLead platform, and you can see that we have a small team, but also doing a lot of activities. You can see on the left top, Christy Olenik, who is our technical director for the YP2LE program. And next you can see Christy Scott, who is our director for the YP2LE program. And Maria, one of our speakers today, she is our senior knowledge and management specialist for YP2LE. And Sarah on the right top, our director and also senior youth engagement for YP2LE. And our communication manager, who is Rachel, doing all the communications. And then you can see Abolaji, who's leading today's webinar and discussion. Sorry, because we're doing a lot of webinars, we kept saying webinar. He is a knowledge management and communication from Nigeria, who's an Atlas Core and also working at YouthLead right now. And Ikena is also from Nigeria. He's an Atlas Core fellow, but now working on knowledge management and communication. And I myself from Ethiopia FM, working with the YouthLead program as a youth engagement fellow.
All right. Thank you all very, very much. Any last words from Philbert? Any last words from Edna and Belly and Maria?
Can I go first?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. I've seen questions that we've responded to young people from Kenya asking how can they be part of the YouthLead platform. I believe the information we've received here is quite significant. Once you join the YouthLead platform, feel free to message me. I've just shared my, my details, contact details. Share them with me. I will be able to add you to the Kenyan WhatsApp platform. Remember, the platform is just for us to have local, to coordinate our local communication and also collaborate closer if there are any activities that we will be doing at our own local level. But on the YouthLead platform, that is where most of the engagement happens. When we have our Kenyan page, we will be able to do quite a lot more activities collaboratively together. Last is on volunteerism. Some of these opportunities might require you to volunteer. Volunteerism does not necessarily mean that you will get financial compensation. Sometimes you defer your financial compensation for some time. And when the gains come, when the networks start to pay off, when the investment, the time that you've invested starts to pay off, you can only, you will have numerous opportunities. Some of us, personally, I'll use my own example. I've volunteered so many times without financial gain, but that is what enhances, gives me visibility. When you're able to apply for something, for an opportunity, for example, a fellowship, or even to become next YouthLead ambassador, they will look at your profile and some of the things that you've done. They will not ask how much were you paid for those activities that you did.
Thank you very much, Philbert.
All that, but this is what I did, this is a number of people that I reached, you will be able to get, and that is how you get other opportunities. So thank you so much. And once again, asanteni sana kwa Kenya.
Thank you very much, Philbert. Edna, any last words from you?
Thank you, Abolaji. I'd just like to say that I'm happy to have been part of this panel. I'm honored. But I will also say that I have seen the amount of questions that we have here, and I think we need the mentoring aspect of this platform. And I'm very happy that all these questions, we will be able to address them one-on-one through mentoring, through linking those of us who have been part of the program and the new people. We have a lot of questions that we need to constantly answer. And I'm very happy to be contributing to that mentoring aspect for young people, especially as they set off to build their careers, their businesses, their startups, and to create change for Kenya and for Africa. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Edna. Belly, over to you. Any last words?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Abolaji, for the opportunity. This was an amazing webinar. I've learned a lot, and I look forward to connecting with everybody in the platform. We can learn from each other and even connect outside more. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Maria, any last words?
Just to say thank you to Philbert for organizing this. This has been wonderful, and we look forward to seeing all of you on the YouthLead platform.
All right, thank you very much. All right, Dr. Sharif, you wanted to say something?
Actually, I really enjoyed this platform today with you, and we have a lot of things to do next time for our ward, and I'm really happy to be here with you and keep going. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you very much. So we're officially done with the webinar or the session. So if you feel